In case you're not aware, one of the saddest sounds to a muzzle loader, a person that hunts with a muzzle loader, is the chamber clearing shot. The reason is, typically after you're done test firing your gun, and you clean it all up and you're all sighted in, you're going to load it once and you leave it loaded for the entire season or until you're done hunting. And all you do is unload the cap. You take the cap off. So they're transported, at least in the state of Maine, all loaded with no cap in it. When you get to where you're going to shoot or hunt, then you can insert your cap. It's considered a loaded firearm at that time, or a loaded something. It's not really a firearm by federal law. So when the season is over, you've got a round and some powder through the muzzle, back in the chamber area. So today I'm at the range. Muzzle loading season ended for me on Saturday. And yes, this is a muzzle loader. In case you're thinking I lost my mind, it is the Trident Armory Tactical SmokePole. And you made it very clear that you wanted to hear more about it. Let's ring out that muzzle clearing shot, then let's go back to the office and talk about this thing in detail. You asked an awful lot of questions, and in turn, I gathered a bunch of answers for you. Trident Armory Tactical SmokePole. How cool is this thing? I had so many comments from this, and because we've never done anything muzzle loader related in the past, I had no idea what your level of interest would be. But I'm pretty excited. It's kind of overwhelming, and it's overwhelmingly positive, and that's cool because I want to talk about it a little bit anyway. It is a 50 caliber. It is an inline muzzle loader. The cap goes inside the dust cover, and that keeps it out of the weather because you can close it right back up again after you cap it. For a cap, it uses a 209 primer, so which is really cool because the last muzzle loader I had used, typical caps, not shotgun primers, and shotgun primers are awesome. They seem to have a little more horsepower. They're easier to work with. I don't know. I haven't found anything that I haven't liked. But it, aside from its looks, it is just an upper receiver add-on for your lower receiver, and it converts it into a muzzle loader. It's really as simple as that. So since this is the day after the end of muzzle loading season, and we just fired that bore clearing shot, still kind of fun to shoot. I like the smell too. Muzzle loading is a unique beast in its own, but the powder, depending on what you use, whether it be black powder or Pyrodex or pellets or whatnot, can anywhere from mildly corrosive to really corrosive. So this can't be like the rest of my guns. I actually have to maintain it, and it's really easy to do. All you got to do is spin off the handguard, it comes free, and the barrel slides right out. After the barrel's out, you can easily assess this breech plug, and by removing that, you've got a straight throw right through the barrel, so it's really, really easy to clean. Today I'm going to use my Liberty Lube kit. That's what I use with all of my firearms, on the rare occasion when I actually take care of my firearms. And it works just as well with muzzle loaders as it does with my carry pieces or the full autos or anything else that I use it for. Now I'm going to go out to the range very soon, and I'm going to invite you along with me to shoot some groups. I'm using some 250 grain sabos with 100 grains of powder, or 2 of the 50 grain pellets. And it's really tight. It's amazing, and I can't wait to get out and paper it for accuracy with you. But for today, I just want to talk a little bit about using it. Now, it is a muzzle loader, and in case you're not familiar with muzzle loaders, let me run you through it really quick. I know it's going to be very basic and elementary to most of you, but some of you maybe can use a touch-up like I can on occasion, because I don't use these a whole lot. So the first thing that you're going to do when you want to shoot your muzzle loader is you're going to insert the powder. Everything exactly like it sounds is loaded through the muzzle, hence muzzle loader. You're going to insert the powder, then you're going to put your either a patch and a projectile, or just a projectile. Like in my case, I'm using a 250 grain sabo, so there's nothing additional I need. I put my powder in, or my powder pellets, and then over that I put the sabot projectile. Now something I found that makes it a little bit easier is I use a little bit of boar butter around the edge of the projectile, and that helps seat it and slide it down in. Now after you get it started, and that's going to be the toughest part, the first 4 inches are going to be the toughest part, you're just going to use your pole and you're going to push it all the way in. And something that's going to be really helpful is you want to measure your bore. And it doesn't really matter if you measure it empty or if you measure it with a charge in it, but it's good to have a mark that coincides on your pole that you understand. That way you can't double charge it. And I know it doesn't sound logical, but it happens to a lot of people and you can really get hurt. Now, the ramrod that comes with the Trident SmokePole is really cool too. It takes down into 5 pieces, and I've got 4 of them right here. It's very, very small, and the idea behind this is for it to fit in a magazine-looking device that's inserted into the firearm, and that's actually your possibles kit. So you'll have everything in there, and if you're not a muzzle loading person, your possibles kit is going to be projectiles and primers and boar butter and a worm puller, which I'll explain next time we get together, and your range rod and a ball starter, and all of these little things that you need to be able to reload your firearm once you discharge it so you can fire it again. Everything will be compact and on the gun, so you don't have to remember to take anything additional. So once again, the versatility of the black rifle system comes on to surprise me. Just when I think I understand the scope of how modular and versatile it is, nope, somebody like Trident comes along and they add just an accessory, an upper receiver that you can use on your own lower receiver, and convert it into an inline muzzle loader. For me, I got an extra 2 weeks of hunting this year using a black rifle, just because we have a muzzle loading season here in the state of Maine. How awesome is that? So that's the nuts and bolts, I guess, behind the tactical SmokePole. I'll have the information down below the video in the description, so if you're interested in one of these, you can contact Trident Armory directly. And keep your eye on the channel, because very soon we're going to go back out and we're going to shoot some groups with this at 100 yards, and I'd like to stretch it to 150 and 200 yards and see how we do. I think it may be surprising, I really do, because I tested it at 100 and 200 yards just for, hunting practical accuracy, and it shoots pretty awesome. It doesn't feel like using a muzzle loader, especially with a nice sight on it. I don't know, a lot of fun to shoot, a lot of smoke, different smell, different feel, big old thumping, booming sound. Pretty cool stuff. So I hope that you enjoyed this further look at the Trident Armory Tactical SmokePole. If you did, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and make sure that you hit notify so you know when we upload a video. Check us out over on full30.com, where we don't have to worry about them pulling our videos down because of some type of political correctness. And check us out over on Patreon, where we have a new family that will allow you to get a little bit more involved in the direction of the channel and what we do on the channel. Till next time, have fun and be safe.